Good morning, everybody, and welcome to What's Trending, where we take some of those hot topics for the week and find out what people in our community have to say. So we've got a couple of people joining us here this morning. We've got Johnny Awesome, local promoter with media management. Welcome. And then next to him, you might all remember Natasha. She used to be a regular on the show, so we brought her back, Natasha Herzik, and she's a victim right advocate. So thanks for coming back.
Thank you for having me.
And then we also have Officer Fell, retired officer and dare officer with YPD, now over at AWC, who just got in late last night and still made it to the show. So
He's a good man.
Yes, thank you for being here.
Thanks for the invite.
All right, so we've got some good topics for you guys this morning. Excited to hear what you guys have to say. And to start off, we're talking about transgender. Now, the Colorado Division of Civil Rights has ruled in favor of Coy Mathis. Now, Coy is a 6-year-old transgender student who was born a boy but identifies as a girl. There's some video holding the mom's hand right there. Now, the school did not allow Coy to use the girls' bathroom, and that was the transgender student. Now, the parents did file a civil complaint in February, and Monday the state found in favor of Coy Mathis that the school was actually discriminating. So what do you think? Was that appropriate for the student? Did they have the choice to use the boys versus the girls' bathroom if that's a different sex that they identify with? And when it comes to this, how young is too young to make that decision, John?
It's a good one. This is, it was kind of scary when I read it.
Let's have some discussion on it.
But, you know, it's 6 years old. What do they identify with? My son, he is 4.5, and at one point in time, he identified himself as a carnivore, like T-Rex, and he only wanted to eat meat. He's like, I don't eat vegetables. I'm like T-Rex, you know? We're not herbivores or whatever, but me as a parent, I have to be like, no, you're gonna eat your vegetables. It's all good. You'll go through this phase. 6 years old to say, you know, no, I'm a girl, you know? No, I don't think that's... I don't think that's right. And then also, the boys' bathroom, it's right there. You know, use the boys' bathroom. Do what you got to do. What about the other girls that have to use this bathroom with a boy, you know?
Natasha's head is about to
oh, no.
off. She's shaking
I'm scared.
it so hard. Okay, Natasha.
It is absolutely okay for him to be using the girls' restroom. Clearly, he identifies himself as a girl by the way he looks, by the way he acts, and he wants to use the girls' restroom. This is 2013. Get over it. This is where we are at as a society. I can see how the school may say other parents may be upset, but at the same time, that's when you talk to your children. I'm a parent. If you were in a public restroom and I saw that, I can see that clearly this young boy identifies himself as a girl. And you know what? Kudos to the 6-year-old for he knows who he is.
He's 6.
You know what? There are a lot of adults who don't even know who they are. But instead, the parents have allowed him to embrace who he is, allow him to identify as a girl. When he gets older, if he doesn't want to do it anymore, then he doesn't have to do it anymore. This is who he is right now in his life. And good for the parents to say, be who you are. Because now they're raising a young, confident girl.
All right. Greg, what do you think?
Yeah.
Well, I wished I would have stayed in St. Louis on this one. And it's like, I mean, I can sure understand that if he's comfortable with which bathroom he wants to use, okay, great. But what if, you know, the other folks might be uncomfortable with him being in the girls' bathroom? So, you know, what about their rights? So I'm kind of going to be a fence sitter on this one. I certainly want, you know, to be in favor of whichever bathroom he wants to use, but you got everybody else concerned also. So I almost have to favor against what the court decided.
And a 6-year-old deciding case rulings, you know, this is going to be set precedent.
I mean,
go, you know,
this is
life.
life.
It's a 6-year-old.
This
you know?
is life.
Yeah, but my
so
son
what do
has
you
to
do?
choose vegetables, you know.
6 years
So
old.
when you see little kids have a boyfriend or girlfriend and it's heterosexual, what do you do when they want to have? When a little boy wants to have a boyfriend?
Okay, that's a different topic.
It doesn't matter. This is life, and this is where we are at today.
All right, I'm going to cut you guys
no
off,
such thing
though.
as too young.
They have so much to say.
You know who you are.
They're kids.
Thank you guys for really telling us how you guys feel about that one. We've got one more coming up after the break. Now, Lady Guadalupe is holding a margarita. Now, lots of people are finding this very offensive. They're being very vocal about this. We've got all kinds of things that people have written about this on our Facebook, and we want to know what you guys in the panel have to say about this magazine cover. We'll have that right when we get back. All right, welcome back everyone for What's Trending, where we take some topics that are hot and trending and find out what some people in our community have to say. Now, if you missed it, earlier we were talking about a transgender student and they cannot stop talking about it. So we're actually going to let them say a little bit more, because I am sorry, Natasha, I had to cut you guys
That's
off
okay.
earlier. But they made some really interesting points at the end. So, Johnny, why don't you go ahead and start, and we'll go.
Well, I'm just saying, he's 6 years old, and if you research it, the parents actually dye the kid's hair pink, purple, different colors. What 6-year-old says, you know, I'm going to dye my hair purple today? You know, I don't think his sisters actually, they have their hair dyed. A lot of girls in the house, a lot of estrogen, I guess, but no, not 6 years old.
My daughter is almost 5, and I've asked her, do you want to color your hair? She's like, yeah, can I do different colors? Of course you can. I am all about allowing my daughter to embrace who she is. And if you say, no, you can't be like this, then what it does is it says, it's not okay to be who you want to be. And then it can cause, if you suppress how your child wants to be, it can cause problems later in life.
My son wants to be somebody that sleeps in and doesn't want to get up for school in the mornings, you know. But I got to be like, no, you're going to get up and go to school.
But that's structure
Bam.
and discipline.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I mean, I was a fence sitter earlier. No, you know what? He's a guy. He's a guy. He's going to use a guy's bathroom, and that's it. I can't believe the court overruled that.
That's what I'm saying. The court,
we're going to mess it all up. We're going to mess it all up.
We're not messing it all up.
I think
you
we are.
know, as an adult and as a school, you know the difference between a child who is identifying as a specific gender as opposed to a boy who just wants to use a girl's bathroom.
What if one day he feels he's a guy and then the next day he feels like he's a girl?
Then that's
he's just going to flip-flop into the bathrooms? Why mark the bathrooms?
My son thought he was invisible for a while. Like, no, you're not invisible. You know, you got to identify as somebody. I can see you.
This is crazy.
It's like, no, you can't, Daddy. I'm
crazy.
just saying he's a kid, you know.
All right, lots of good perspectives, lots of good input. And I mean, I think everybody kind of has a different opinion and a right opinion, you know, for everything that works for them. So I don't know, you know, we'll have to see. We should put this one on Facebook and see what more people think, because they're two very strong cases.
It's a very hot topic.
I think.
Well, I think that it's a great ending to a story, and it teaches a lot of young kids to be who you are, and good for him. Good for him.
But
He's not allowing somebody to tell him we can't do.
And he says, if you're a guy, you're a guy. Okay, so the different opinions on the panel. All right, so for our next topic here on what's trending this morning, I actually don't have it in there, but I'm going to try to just explain it really quick. Okay, so we have Lady Guadalupe. Okay, so this is from... Here we go. We're on topic number 2. The Santa Fe Reporter, a newspaper in Santa Fe, New Mexico, has been criticized for publicizing this photo showing the Lady of Guadalupe in a bikini and sipping on a margarita surrounded by various other images. Now, the newspaper put this as their cover for the 2013 Summer Guide. Now, the paper's editor-in-chief says, quote, as a staff, we developed a concept that we thought would offer a different take on the city and their culture and their extracurricular landscape. Each image on the cover relates to an activity profiled in the story, end quote. But we want to know what you guys think about it, because a lot of Catholics are upset. They're not happy with this. Who wants to start?
I could see how Catholics would be upset over this. I think they view her as a saint, if I'm not mistaken. So I could see it. I'm not offended. It looks like a cool cover to me, but then again, I'm not a Catholic, so I can't.
So it doesn't hit you on a religious level?
It doesn't. No, not at all. It looks pretty neat looking, actually.
Okay.
I like Catholic artwork, by the way.
Okay.
Obviously, I would not be offended by something like this.
She's in a bikini. No, I'm just kidding.
So I think it's beautiful. I think it's with the times. Once again, we are in 2013. There's nothing wrong with her being in a bikini and having some alcohol.
Okay. So you don't think it's disrespectful to their culture?
I can see how they may see it like that.
Okay.
Being religious and maybe more on the traditional side. But I know for me, my God would not judge me based on what I'm wearing. It's the content of my heart.
Okay, it's just art.
Yes.
Okay. Greg?
Well, I mean, if they're pushing being Catholic and they want to be a religious, they want the commercial or the platform to represent religion, then maybe the margarita is a little out of touch with what they want.
Right, that cultural connection they're talking about maybe isn't quite as strong.
I think they got a decent argument.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's actually, and there's a lot of people making a lot of good points on our Facebook too. So if you guys want to check that out, lots of discussion on that with different views and different ideas on why they think one way or the other. But thank you guys so much for coming.
Let's go back to the first discussion.
Again?
We haven't solved anything.
Back there, he's saying you're done. You guys are cut off. So Craig, I'm going to listen to you.
Much.
I'm sorry, guys. We're all done this morning, but we'll talk about it after the show. Okay. All right, we'll be back in just a bit after this.